Race number 2 on the programme at Happy Valley. Class 3 contest, significantly up in class here then for the second. It's a 2,200 metre contest, the Happily Baby handicap. Giant Turtle heads them from Barrier 1, a course and distance winner in the past. Victor Wong takes 7 off. Cheerful Star, fourth last start behind Namjong Plus. Sangria was behind Gorgeous King, as was Goldfield. Cloud 9 finished second in that Gorgeous King race, and Dynamic Eagle finished second in the Namjong Plus race. Just the 8 of them going round here, Brett. It doesn't necessarily make it any easier.
No, it doesn't. This is potentially the way they may get into a formation after travelling a few hundred metres, but it's worth noting that it's a smallish field and there are a couple of horses that are reliably able to take off from the back when there's a slow tempo. Rickfield's one of them. He has won 2 races over 1,800, but he's noted for taking off, getting things moving. So lots of variables here. It may end up that way, but they could get going a fair way from home too.
It's also won't mind the distance. He's raced over it before and has been placed as Sangria. Just an even piece of work for him as he comes down 400 metres, and he's doing everything nicely and no issues with him. Cloud 9, 1 of 3, Tony Millard. So he's got the key to the race in this. He's with an 8-runner race. You can see he's quite keen this morning. He's really wanted to go, get on with it, but he's fit going into this race as well, as you'd expect over this distance. And Dynamic Eagle, a lot of money for him last time. He's now up in distance, another 400 metres, and does hit the line to show that 2,200 won't be a problem for him either.
All right, we'll have a look at that race in a second as well, Dynamic Eagle. We'll start off, though, with one of the 3 Millard runners here, and that is Rickfield. On this occasion, finishing 5th. He's placed over this trip. His 2 wins have been over the 1,800 metres.
Yeah, look, this was over the 1,650. I thought he got a bit too far back in this race. He hit the line strongly enough. He's had plenty of work, so 2,200 metres at this stage of his preparation looks ideal. I think he'll run well. So, yeah, I've got him on top.
Yeah, I've got him in the tips too. I rate him highly. This is one of the harder races of the night, I think. Only a small field of 8, but there's so many possibilities. He goes in the tips for me.
That was behind Red Warrior, that race as well. It looks very smart indeed. Yeah. Dynamic Eagle is next up, along with Brave Legend. Cheerful Star, didn't mind his run, and Giant Turtle, who weekends out of it.
Yeah, well, there's, again, a few to choose from. I mean, Dynamic Eagle was very heavily tried in the betting and almost went to the line in front of Namjong Plus. He's got Barrier 2 and he's got a claim as well. So if there is the race setting up as we saw in the speed map before, he's in a good position. If something takes off, he's probably going to be in a good position as well to just sort of sit there and let it all evolve. So I just kept coming back to him with a light weight and a good barrier.
Giant Turtle has come on quite a lot since that run as well. He'll get the apprentice claim, so he'll get a bit of weight relief. So he's the one I'm going to take out of that. I think he's a big improver from one start to the next.
All right, he's trained by Tony Millard, as is Cloud 9. Let's hear from his jockey, Karis Teat.
He's definitely going very good this season. This is his distance. I think will suit him perfectly because he takes a very long time to get warmed up into a race, and he likes the valley. So I think it's a good run, good distance for him, and looking forward to ride him. After his last run, he had a trial about a few weeks ago, and everything went smoothly. He felt really good, and Tony had him in good form.
Last time you had a wide draw to contend with. You've drawn 6 of 8 here. Does that bother you, or is he the type of horse that you can go forward and make his own luck with?
Actually, he's the type of horse wherever he's not onto the bridle, wherever he's just relaxed and using his action, then he's pretty much fine. Last time we came out to intention to go forward, and we actually couldn't get forward, so we just left him where he was happy. And I had to get going early on him to... I know how he is, but I'm not worried about the draw. Actually, I will ride him however it suits him, and I think he's pretty much fine with that.
He's one I've reluctantly left out, but he's got the ability.
He surprised me a little bit. He's never won in the class from 17 starts, but his last 2 seconds have both been in the grade and they've both been good. This is a really difficult race to assess. It's hard to leave any one runner out particularly, I would have thought.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think Giant Turtle will lead by himself because I don't think the stablemate will take him on.
Yeah.
All right, so it could be tactically interesting. And Giant Turtle is actually our favourite at the stage, Paul.
Yeah, got him in for second. I think Rickfield, it was a good run behind Red Warrior, who's gone on and won again since. So good form race he comes out of. I think he can beat his stablemate Giant Turtle, who, if he is left alone in front, he can be very dangerous. Sangria is a horse who really appreciates the 2200 metres, and Cloud 9. So I went 2, 1, 5 and 7. I will play Exotics though, because I think it is a tricky race.
Yeah, well, the way you've sort of got your tips there, you may be envisaging that Rickfield gets moving a fair way out.
Yeah.
If that happens, it could throw the whole race into a bit of a conundrum, really, with horses sort of trying to find the line from the 7 or the 800. For that reason, I'm going to go with Dynamic Eagle, who just from barrier 2 can sit there, whether or not it's just a race that gets into formation, stays that way, and then it's a sit sprint, or it's one that gets going from a long way out. There was lots of money for him last start, so I'm happy to follow him up on the back of that good performance last outing. Cheerful Star ran well too in that same race. Rickfield, definitely capable, and I didn't like Sangria going in first up, and he ran well, so I've gone 8, 3, 2, 5. The ones I've left out, the 4 I've left out, they could probably run the quartet.
They probably could. The one number that we've left out between all of us is the 6, Goldfield.
Right. 2-time winner in Argentina at Group 1 level.
Exactly. There you go. That's the level of this sort of race. Tricky one, the second.